Hi there, I'm Albert Siegel. I'm a journalist based in Japan, and today I'd like to show you the new Pentax K-1 full-frame digital SLR camera. A couple of notes. This is a pre-production model, so I cannot show you much in the way of out-of-camera files right now, but I do hope to when I get a final production model in April. Also, this is my personal view on this camera. I was not paid or compensated by Ricoh in any way for this video, so a major thank you to Ricoh for letting me do this hands-on. One of the first things you notice is the retro look of the camera. You can see the inspiration of the Spotmatic in the design of the body. It's also not that much larger than the K3, which is already pretty compact for an advanced SLR type camera. The back of the camera is very well organized considering the amount of buttons and space available. You now have the option of assigning the down button as the second customizable FX button. The larger screen is a very nice upgrade over previous models. One very impressive feature of the LCD is the flexible design, allowing you a unique amount of positions to choose from. It really allows for a great deal of flexibility when you're trying to get a creative angle. In addition to the usual focus mode and customizable side buttons, you also have a PC sync port, headphone and microphone jacks, USB, HDMI, and power ports. On the other side, you also have two SDXC slots and a cable switch port. You use this for the wide remote. For the top panel, much like the K3 too, you no longer have a pop-up flash. That's been replaced with GPS and Wi-Fi. The mode dial has a locking option. The biggest changes are the smaller LCD and the new option dial with a third control wheel dedicated to it. I find this new setup allows for very quick changes and is really quite useful. The movie mode is now a switch under the dial. It's different, but it works well. Not much to say about the bottom other than it's the bottom. There is a port for communication with a newly designed optional battery grip. Looking through the viewfinder, you can instantly see that it's more advanced than in previous models. You now have adjustable grids and lines without the need to change focusing screens. For example, I can turn on the crop guide to see where the APS-C framing is. With this on, you will only get a smaller crop as if you were shooting on an APS-C camera. You do have the option to turn it off and use the entire frame, but this could lead to dark corners on some lenses designed for the APS-C format. The focus points cover a pretty good area of the frame. It's notable that the AF points cover nearly the APS-C format when set to crop mode. Along with the quicker frame rate in crop mode, this should come in handy when shooting sports. Let's take a look at how some APS-C format lenses work out when in full frame mode. The 10-17 fisheye seems to work pretty well from about 15mm, so you can still use it as a fisheye even on full frame. The 12-24 seems to work well from around 18mm, which is about the same field of view as 12 on a crop body. The 55 seems to work well on full frame as is. The 60-250 is interesting. It seems to cover nearly the entire frame on full frame mode, but there are noticeable dark corners. It's not that bad and highly usable as a full frame lens. Well, for me it is at least. The menu features the same newly designed font seen in the KS2. I can't really go into detail here as it's still a beta firmware, but you can see what options are available more or less. The quick menu has an interesting new feature. You can now edit the individual tiles. One feature I've always loved is a composition adjustment available on some models. This basically lets you turn any lens into a shift lens. Though the amount of shift is very small, it's surprisingly helpful. Let's see what you can get from a traditional shift lens. Let's look how much more we can get with a sensor shift. Again, while not that much, even a little bit can make the difference between a good shot and the perfect shot. Finally, let me get to my personal impressions. The camera handles very well as is expected for a Pentax. The grip and the location of the buttons is very well thought out. It's really a pleasure to hold and use. I'm impressed at how well the shake reduction works on a full frame. It features a 5-axis stabilization system. The shutter has a nice sound to it. It's comparatively quiet considering the size. One long-awaited feature for many photographers Yes, this camera supports tethering. On the video front, sadly, there's still no 4K, but you can shoot full HD at up to 60 interlaced. While this by no means is the ideal camera for video, there is a visible improvement in video quality compared to previous Pentax cameras. Again, I can't show you this as this is a pre-production model. Sadly, shake reduction in video mode is not mechanical, but then again, I prefer to use a tripod for my videos anyway, so it's not really that big a loss for me. What really impresses me the most about the camera is what matters most in any camera: image quality. Although I cannot share any images right now, I can say the output from the camera is some of the best I've seen, and I am very impressed what I've been able to get out of it. Again, I can't show you any output from the camera just yet, but I promise I'll upload some raw files once I get a production model. Thanks so much for watching. I truly hope you've enjoyed this hands-on. If you did, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel or my Twitter feed. Both can be found at Albert Siegel. Again, thank you so much for your time and have a fantastic day.